What version of you are you serving? Are you serving the one that is here in the now, the one that exists in the future or the past? When I'm meal prepping, I'm thinking about my future self. I'm thinking about my weekly self. So I can off or front load all my effort every Sunday because I know I'm going to take care of my weekly self. When I go to the gym, for instance, it's painful, but I know that my future self will thank me. I'm doing it for the sake of my entire life. So what version of yourself are you serving? There's tensions that exist between these worlds. The present moment wants to feel safe. It wants to feel secure. It doesn't want the pain. But the future, to get to a future that you kind of would love to experience and have all your goals met and your creations come to life, that future can't exist without the pain. So instead of focusing on the pain in the present, when you're doing a goal, you can frame it more so like you're doing it for your future self. You're doing it to elongate. You're doing it as if you're elongating your version of now. So consider this. A person's given version of now, they think of in terms of maybe like a day, what they want right now, like what are they doing right now in life. And often, suppose I ask you right now, what are you doing in life right now? Often the answer would be, well, what I do for work, because that's what you do every day, right? What are you doing right now? But what if you were to elongate that? What if you were to set and expand your version of now in terms of the year? If I asked you what you're doing right now, and you can tell me maybe your year-long goals, that is also what you're doing right now. But if you're so focused in this version of now, in the version of you, on the immediate present, to broaden the horizon into the far future is difficult. How can you expand if it's if all you think of now in terms of is right now? It's interesting. My past girlfriend and I did this thing where we wrote and drew on a pie chart the percentage of kind of life that our brains are living. We wrote down. In this pie chart, there was a segment for the past, the present, and the future. Each of these ways of living each serve us. When you live in the past, people often think there's a negative connotation with that. And I think it's because when you live in the past, you can do it so much that you don't move on. But the past does serve. It does offer so much advice and like guidance, but you have to reflect on it. These are where your past mistakes lie. This is where your victories live. So if you never tune into the past, you're not being grateful for what you have. You're not being grateful for the past that was pot in the mid, for the past that you lived that made it possible to be where you were at. If you don't think about the past, you will repeat the same mistakes. Now the present is very cool as well, because this is the place in the scheme of life where you're actually living. You're not living in the past or future. You're experiencing in the here and the now. I think often when we hear living in the here and the now, living presently, we think it is very beautiful. And it is, because it's freeing, it's liberating to just experience the here and the now. And yeah, there is an absolute time and place for that. When I go for these walks, I like to be present. I am just speaking. I'm not thinking about the world news or the different things that I have to get done in my day. No, I'm fully immersed in these conversations. Or when I settle down at the end of the night, and it's just me in a journal. I put a candle on and I just listen to myself. That is a good present. But again, if you live in the present so much and only in the present, will you ever maybe expand your love to elsewhere? Will you ever make note of other places that you want to serve or work in? If I only lived in the present, I would not set up some ambitious goals for myself where I could maybe help out the world more or put myself in different opportunities where I could then utilize, because if you only existed in the present, doing hard stuff just doesn't really sound fun. And that's because often all the hard stuff that you do, it's for your future self. So there's the other component, the future. And the future's great because that's where your present is going to end up. So if you can plan your future to some degree, or think about doing stuff for your future, like putting in the hard work of today so you can experience it tomorrow, like my meal prep, for instance, or working out. Putting in the hard work today so you have more energy and you can live longer in your future for tomorrow. But then if you live only in the future, you're never experiencing reality for what it is. You're not getting into the Zen states. You're not even reflecting on the past. And right now, what I would impose my own thoughts on is our world is living so far in the future that it has completely neglected the past. And I think this is what happens to every great civilization in a way. Like, periods of booms and busts, and you're just on the precipice of future all the time, instead of pondering what we could learn from the past. And this is very adorable. Are you ready? Do you see the duckies? Look, there's one there. There's another. Yeah, right there. So, I asked the question, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Duck, how much of the past, present, and future do you live in? And I'm a betting man, the duck will probably say, I live for the present. I think a lot of animals live for the present. Some live for the future, of course. They live for the past as well. They learn from past experiences. And they have to plan for the future. They collect nuts like squirrels, So, but I ask you this question: how much of the past, present, and future do you live in? For me, there was a time when I only lived in the future. I was like 80% of all my waking energy was spent planning on my future. That's a lot. 10% was on the past, and I was never in the present. I never even thought once about existing in the here and the now. And as a result, my life flashed so quickly before my eyes, and I didn't even know what happiness was, because I wasn't even living. I wasn't even experiencing, because my head was so far in the future. The girlfriend that I mentioned, she was different. She barely lived in the future. She lived like 10% in the future, 50% in the present, and 40% in the past. So for her, when I met her, she was definitely more grounded in reality. She was present. But then the past influenced a lot of her decisions too. So maybe she wouldn't necessarily take some ambitious leaps for her future. Whereas for me, maybe I would repeat some mistakes over again, because I didn't reflect so deeply on my past or my present, or what it was that I was appreciating, and I would go about my way and try to future. However, um, today I feel like completely rebalanced. I've played this dance in my head between the past, present, and future. And yeah, at different moments of your life, you're going to want a different distribution, of course. And at different, even like moments in terms of the hour of the day, you want different distributions. Sometimes when you're at work, depends upon what you do for work. For me, I'm doing research. I want to have like a future thinking mindset. The effect of this decision, how is it going to affect the next one? But this rebalance I've been able to achieve, and it takes some time and energy, but it just takes first you asking the question: what is your version of world that you're living in? Are you so caught up with the past and you can't move on? Are you so hyper focused on how you're feeling in this every waking moment that you're either so anxious that you can't do anything, or so in tune with the here and the now that you're not even planning at all? Or are you caught in the future? Are you not appreciating what you have? Are you not learning from the past? I think these tensions are so important to play with, because it is actually the life at which you live. We say that you are one person living in the here and the now. I said that earlier too, but I think really you live everywhere. You live in this dynamic dance between worlds. So let the dance happen. Embrace the dance. Do things for your future. Reflect on your past and live for right now. If you never learn from your past, you'll repeat mistakes. If you never do things for your future, things will not change. And if you live for your present, life will be oh so good. Just like me, walking in these woods. I'm Matthew. I hope this resonated with some of you, but signing off. Peace and love. Have a good day. Also, I'm wearing horses on my shirt. I like this. I like this shirt. It's a cool shirt.